Hey everyone, this is Soumya from Bookfeast channel. Today in this video, I'm gonna share on the topic poetic devices. So before getting into the video, let us know what are poetic devices. Poetic devices are a form of literary device used in poetry. So in English, there are many literary devices. When you talk about poetry, the devices which is described for poet or poems are called as poetic devices. To the first device, rhyming words. So before getting into the video, I just want to tell you I have posted the particular content in Tamil also. If you are in need of that, please do refer the description for the link, and please do subscribe and share our channel to get further more updates. So rhyming words. The last two words in the lines produce the same or similar sound. So similar in the sense it is not exactly same, but it is somewhat same. So, rhyming words refers to the last two words that produce the same sound or similar sound. When you go for the example, and it grew both day and night, till it bore an apple bright. And my foe beheld it shine, and he knew that it was mine. So, night, bright, both are in the same sound. Shine, mine, both are in the same sound. So here, night and bright are the rhyming words, shine and mine are the rhyming words. When you go in advanced, we have to divide it under the category, that is rhyming scheme. So the arrangement of the poetic lines in the same order. See the same example I have given you as you seen for the rhyming words. Night. So night is, I have named the rhyming word as A. The sound as A, and bright. So it sings with night. So A. Shine. Night, bright, shine. Shine never sings with the word night and bright. So let us take it B. Mine. Shine, mine. So both are in the rhyming. So let us take it B. So the rhyming scheme of this stanza seems to be A, B, B. And next, simile, the comparison of two unlike things using the words like, as or so. So, when you compare two unlike things, it is comparison. When you use the words like, as and so to compare two things, that is simile. See for example, your eyes are like the diamond bright. So, eyes and diamond, there is no any likeness or any contradiction with the points eyes and diamond. But here the poet says that the eyes are like diamonds. And also one more example, but mine are dull as lead. So again, eyes cannot be compared with lead. But here he says the eyes are dull as lead. So using the word like, as and so, when a comparison takes place between two unlike things, it is referred as simile. So, the advancement of simile seems to be metaphor, an implicit, implied or hidden comparison between two things that are not related but they share common features. So, metaphor is something where as, like and so are not openly shown. It is a hidden comparison, and here the comparing things must have some common features. For example, it's the old home roof that shelters. So here roof talks about the family, not exactly the roof. The poet may have written it as it's the old home roof like family. So he may use to the word like, but he had not used it. Instead he given old home roof. So roof compares to family. It is an hidden comparison, and roof is the place where roof is placed actually in the bottom of in the top of the home, and family resides inside the home. So there is some common feature, either maybe in textual or in the oratorical manner. When you go for the next, alliteration, the repetition of consonant sound at the beginning of the word in the same line. So in the same line, the beginning of the word should have the same repeated consonant sound. See for example, sweet creature said the spider. So sweet, said, spider, S sound. So it is alliteration. It should be in the same line and it should be in the beginning of the word. So there is somewhat sync between alliteration, consonants and assonance. So when you divide the alphabet, it gets divided into consonant and vowels. So the sound which is produced by consonant are called consonants. The repetition of consonant sound at the end of the word, but also refers to the repeated sound in the middle of a word. So in the poetic lines, when the consonant sound keep on repeating either at the end of the word or at the middle of the word, it is given the term consonance. See for example, this the prettiest little parlour that ever you did spy. So prettiest, little. Here the t sound keeps on repeating, so it is consonance. And when you go for assonance, the repetition of vowel sound in the middle of a word. See for example, there are pretty curtains drawn around. Here aw sound is given, so aw is a vowel sound. So it is assonance. And anaphora, repetition of a certain word or phrase at the beginning of successive lines, or repetition of a word or a phrase at the beginning of a sentence, paragraph and lines. So the repetition of certain word which takes place, maybe it may be a word or the phrase, but it should take place at the beginning of successive lines, and the repetition often occurs in sentence, paragraphs and lines. See for example, how handsome are your gauzy wings, how brilliant are your eyes. So here the writer or the poet, he may have written by the name, the noun. For example, the poem is described by the spider, where the spider describes about the fly. So the poet may have written, the fly is very handsome, the fly is brilliant, but he has stressed the word how again and again before the successive line, beginning of the successive line, using the word how to express the quality of the fly. So it is anaphora, and there is some similarity between anaphora and repetition. Anaphora occurs before the successive line, but repetition occurs at any place in the sentence or the poetic lines. See for example, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep. So here it keeps on repeating, so it is repetition. When you go for the next, personification, just split the word and see personify. So it is giving a personally quality to something. An inanimate object or abstraction is given human qualities or abilities, giving human qualities to non-living things. So when a person or a human being is portrayed as he, she, and so it is a humanly quality. But when these terms are given to non-living thing, it is giving the human quality to non-living thing, it is described as personification. See for example, he gives his harness bell a shake. So here he talks about not the human being but a animal, horse. So the poet might have written it gives, but he has mentioned he, where he personifies the horse by giving the human quality. When you go for the next, imagery, split the word and see image, using of figurative language to represent object, action and ideas in such a way that it appeals to the physical senses. Image in visual. So when you read a word, when you read a sentence or a paragraph, automatically the image will be portrayed, the image will be shown in your mind. That is imagery. See for example, yellow pebbles. We all know what is pebble and what will be the pebbles, what will be the colors of the pebble. But here the writer, he mentions yellow pebble. So what comes to your mind automatically? You will start of imagining the pebble which is yellow in color. So here you come up with the image which is written in words. So that is imagery. An epithet, an adjective or phrase expressing a quality or attribute regarded as characteristic of the person or the thing mentioned. So when you give a characteristic aspect to a person using an adjective or phrase, that is called as epithet. For example, little river. River is a noun. So here the little word describes the quality or maybe the quantity of the noun. So that is epithet. When you go for the next, anthropomorphism. So anthropomorphism is something where a human being automatically assumes that he is the one and only being for whom the earth is created. But it is not the fact. Earth is created for all the ecosystemic creature which is found on the earth. So that is anthropomorphism. When you come for the poem aspect, to endow a non-human character with human traits and behavior. So the character may be non-human, but the poet writes by assuming him as a human, and he gives the trait and behavior of a human. See, for example, The Spider and the Fly by Mary Bottom Howitt. The spider and the fly conversate within themselves like a human being. So here the writer portrays and he makes his spider and fly to behave like a human being through his words. So that is anthropomorphism. And when you go for the next, comparison, comparing two things. Faster than a cheetah with a tail that miles long. Here a comet is compared with the cheetah, so it is comparison. And free verse. We have seen about rhyming words and rhyming schemes earlier. Here, the poem or the stanza which is not in a regular rhyme or which do not have a regular rhythm is called as free verse. For example, On Killing a Tree by Give Patel. There is no particular rhyme scheme, or you could not see any rhyming word which is in a systematic order. So it is free verse poem. When you go for hyperbole, hyper. What do you remind about hyper? Hypertension, hyperthyroidism, hyper talking. So hyper is a word which talks about the extreme level of something. That is, hyper is the prefix which adds the extremeness to its word. Exaggerating. For example, to watch is woods fill up with snow. So it is nature. It is naturally happen during the winter season. The forest will be covered with the snow. But here, the poet exaggerates it. He says covering the wood with snow is a deliberate exaggeration. He deliberately exaggerates this line. So it is hyperbole. When you go for next, narration. So narration, the act or process of narrating a story. One who tells a story is called narrator. The work he is doing is called narrating. And to talk in a definition term, it is narration. When you go for the example, On Killing a Tree by Give Patel. So the whole poem talks about the character of a tree. So tree seems to be the first person, and the tree is the qualification of tree is spoken to the listener or the reader. Here the poet is addressing the tree. He talks about the quality of the tree. So the poem is third person narrative. So here I conclude my video. Once again I tell you, I have posted the particular content in Tamil also. If you are in need of that, please do refer the description for the link, and please do share and subscribe our channel to get further more updates. Thank you.